In the northeastern United States, Connecticut and New Jersey are two states of many similarities in terms of physical geography, some human aspects, and history. But there are notable differences. Let's compare both in the latest State Comparison Series episode. The Northeast and Mid-Atlantic have many states that are integral parts of early American history. Two of them, Connecticut and New Jersey, were two of the original 13 colonies. Connecticut was initially inhabited by various Algonquin Native American tribes. The region saw its first European explorers in the 16th century. By the 17th century, Dutch and then English settlers began establishing permanent settlements, including the founding of the Connecticut colony in 1636 by Thomas Hooker and others at Hartford. Connecticut played a pivotal role in the early development of colonial North America, contributing significantly to the growth of representative government through the Fundamental Orders in 1639, often considered the first written constitution that created a government. It was a center for the Puritans, and later, during the American Revolutionary War, served as a major supplier of resources and manpower to fight for independence from the British rule. The state continued to grow in the 19th century, becoming a hub for innovation and manufacturing during the Industrial Revolution. Connecticut's factories produced goods ranging from textiles to firearms, and the state earned a reputation for the creativity of its inventors and entrepreneurs. Throughout the 20th and into the 21st century, Connecticut has seen a shift towards a service-based economy, with finance and insurance industries becoming dominant, particularly in cities like Hartford. New Jersey was originally inhabited by Native American tribes such as the Lenape. The Dutch were the first Europeans to establish a foothold in the region, with the establishment of the New Netherland colony in the early 17th century. The area that is now New Jersey was taken over by the English in 1664, leading to its division into East Jersey and West Jersey, reflecting competing territorial interest. New Jersey played a crucial role during the American Revolutionary War, hosting over 100 battles and skirmishes, more than any other state. In the 19th century, New Jersey grew rapidly as part of the broader industrialization in the Northeast, with significant developments in transportation and manufacturing. Cities like Paterson became known for silk production, earning its nickname Silk City, while Camden and Newark grew as industrial centers. The 20th century saw New Jersey's transformation into a major suburban state due to its proximity to New York City and Philadelphia, making it a prime location for residential growth and commercial development. Today, New Jersey is known for its diverse population, its strategic location as part of the Eastern Seaboard megalopolis, and its status as a transportation hub. In today's State Comparison Series episode, we're going to focus on both the physical and human geographies of Connecticut and New Jersey. In terms of physical geography, we will review three main factors: geomorphology, meteorology, and ecology, while with human geography, we will review four main factors: demography, urbanization, economy, and geopolitics. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Our World, Our Planet, Our Home, if you enjoy learning about geography and earth science. Let's get started. Geomorphologically, both Connecticut and New Jersey share similar topographical features. Connecticut is situated on the coastline, however, most of it is on the Long Island Sound and Block Island Sound, not directly on the Atlantic Ocean. The area closest to the shoreline is on a coastal plain which has some rolling hills, but for the most part is relatively flat. A little further inland, the elevation of Connecticut increases, and this area features igneous rock mountains from the rifting of Pangaea, which happened 200 million years ago. In the northwestern part of the state, on the borders of New York and Massachusetts, this is where the elevation starts to increase dramatically. Mount Frizzle, in the Taconic Range, a sub-range of the Appalachians, is the highest peak in the state at an elevation of 2,454 feet. New Jersey is quite similar in geomorphology to Connecticut. The southern half of the state is relatively flat on a coastal plain with elevations below 200 feet. One notable exception is Monmouth County, in the area of the Navesink Highlands. This area has large hills and cliffs geologically created from glacial rebound when the last ice age ended, uplifting sediments. Northward, the geomorphology is mixed. Within the very urbanized areas, the landscape has a low elevation with some rolling hills, but there are two exceptions. To the east, the Palisades, a line of steep igneous rock cliffs overlooking the Hudson River, has elevations between 400 to 500 feet. To the west, the Watchung Mountains, two sets of igneous rock mountains, run from north to south some 40 miles, with the highest elevations being in Passaic County at High Mountain. Both the Palisades and the Watchung Mountains were also created from the rifting of Pangaea. In the northwestern part of the state, the elevation increases to over 1,000 feet in many locations, with notable features such as the Delaware Water Gap. In the far northwestern part of the state is the highest peak, High Point, at an elevation of 1,803 feet. Meteorologically, both Connecticut and New Jersey share similar climatic conditions, in that they're regionally in the Northeast, which has a temperate climate with all four seasons. Similarly to the geomorphology, the meteorology of Connecticut is split. Right on the immediate coast, the state has a humid subtropical climate with warm to hot and humid summers and coldest to sometimes mild winters with adequate amounts of rain and snow. Further inland, the interior location coupled with the higher elevations allows this part of the state to have a humid continental climate, with warm to hot and humid summers and generally cold winters. Also, snowfall is higher here thanks to the colder temperatures. New Jersey is also split meteorologically with even more pronounced differences. The northeastern, central, and southern parts of the state have a humid subtropical climate with hot and humid summers and cool to mild winters. However, during the winter months, northern locations may receive snow during a storm, while points south, especially near the coastline, may receive rain. In fact, Cape May only gets around 15 inches of snow on average, while Newark gets 31.5 inches. But further inland, in northwestern New Jersey, the climate becomes humid continental, with similar conditions to inland Connecticut. The highest elevations in New Jersey on average get up to 60 inches of snow a year. Ecologically, there is so much of a similarity between Connecticut and New Jersey that it can be discussed together. Both states feature temperate mid-latitude biomes with differences associated with the area. In the coastal zones, Connecticut and New Jersey have estuarine and oceanic biomes, which include salt marshes, tidal flats, and dunes. In addition, both states have numerous rivers and wetlands that provide habitat for aquatic plants, fish, and waterfowl. Inland, the biomes become more terrestrial and include temperate broadleaf and mixed forest. In them live a variety of animal species, including white-tailed deer, black bear, foxes, coyotes, and rabbits. One unique difference in Connecticut is the New England cottontail. This cottontail rabbit is endemic to New England states such as Connecticut, but not New Jersey, and it's visually impossible to see the difference between it and the eastern cottontail, but genetic testing can determine it. And in addition to forest habitats, many animal species within Connecticut and New Jersey have adapted extremely well to living in urban and suburban areas of the two densely populated states. Now let's head on to human geography, starting with demography. Connecticut and New Jersey have historically been diverse states with different racial and ethnic makeups. Connecticut is ranked 29th in the nation for population with a little over 3.6 million residents. However, it's ranked 4th in population density at 739 people per square mile. Racially, the state has 63.2% white, with the largest minority groups being Hispanics at 17.3%, blacks at 11.4%, and Asians at 5.5%. Ethnically, white groups make up the highest percentages, with Italians, Irish, and English rounding out the top three at 19.3%, 10.7%, and 10.4% respectively. The demographic distribution is very place-specific, with the urban areas of the state being more diverse, while the rural areas are more homogeneously white. New Jersey is both highly populated and dense, with a population of nearly 9.3 million residents, 11th in the U.S., and a population density of 1,263 people per square mile, first nationwide. New Jersey is one of the most diverse states in the U.S. with racial makeup, ethnicity, and religion. The state has 51.9% white, and the largest minority groups are Hispanics at 21.6%, Blacks at 13.6%, and Asians at 11%, making the state a nearly majority minority state. Ethnically, New Jersey is incredibly diverse. In terms of Europeans, Italians and Irish make up around 15% each of the population. The state has many ethnic communities, especially in the most urbanized parts of the state. Parts of Bergen and Essex counties have high percentages of Jews, while urban centers are very mixed, with a variety of different ethnicities such as Puerto Rican, Cuban, Dominican, Indian, Bengali, Korean, and Chinese. On to urbanization, both Connecticut and New Jersey are densely populated, but each don't have very large cities. Connecticut's largest city is Bridgeport, a community located on the Long Island Sound, with a population of almost 149,000 residents. Stamford, an edge city that has grown in recent years, is second in population with a little over 135,000 residents, followed by New Haven, home of Yale University, and then Hartford, the state capital. Much of the population of Connecticut lives within the southwestern part of the state, within the metropolitan area of New York City, and in areas easily accessible to highways. Much of the northwestern and northeastern parts of the state are quite rural and feature small rustic towns. In terms of transportation, Connecticut has a well-linked highway system, including the Connecticut Turnpike, also known as I-95, I-91, I-84, the Murrah Parkway, numerous interstate auxiliary highways, and lots of U.S. and state highways. Also, the Northeast Corridor Railroad line runs through the state, with the Amtrak Acela, a high-speed train connecting the state to cities such as Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. Like Connecticut, New Jersey doesn't have very large cities. Newark is the state's largest city, with a population of a little over 305,000 residents. Jersey City, around 7 miles east, is second with almost 287,000 residents and may overtake Newark in the near future as the largest city thanks to its extremely close location to New York City. Rounding out the top three is Paterson, which has a population of around 160,000. Many of New Jersey's communities are considered edge cities or suburbs of New York City or Philadelphia, and some are well known as being major commercial hubs with large malls and strip malls such as Paramus, Wayne, Woodbridge, Edison, and Parsippany. While the northeastern part of the state and areas along major highways are very urbanized, not everywhere is. The northwestern and southern parts of the state, such as the Pine Barrens, are very remote and feature vast amounts of woodlands. New Jersey has one of the densest and most famous highway systems in the U.S. The Garden State Parkway and the New Jersey Turnpike are very heavily traveled and considered pop culture icons. Other highways in the state include I-80, I-78, I-287, I-280, and an intricate network of U.S., state, and county highways. In addition, the Northeast Corridor Rail line runs northeast to southwest through the state, linking it to major East Coast cities, and locally, New Jersey Transit bus and train lines and PATH train service gives access to communities internally within the state and to New York City and Philadelphia. Economically, the northeastern part of the United States is made up of states with high GDPs and per capita incomes, and Connecticut and New Jersey are no exception. Connecticut has a state GDP of $322 billion and a per capita income of nearly $90,000 a year, among the highest in the nation. The economy of the state is diverse and involves several key industries. The Hartford area is renowned as the insurance capital of the world, with numerous insurance companies headquartered there. The finance sector, including hedge funds and investment management, is also significant, especially in the Fairfield County area, which serves as a base for many hedge funds and finance firms. Connecticut has a robust healthcare industry supported by leading hospitals and medical research facilities. The education sector is also vital, with numerous highly regarded institutions such as Yale University and the University of Connecticut contributing to the economy through research, innovation, and workforce development. Connecticut is home to several innovative companies in information technology, digital media, biosciences, and pharmaceuticals. There are several companies that are headquartered in Connecticut, including Xerox, a global corporation that sells print and digital document products and services, Raytheon Technologies, an aerospace and defense company, Cigna, a global health service company, and Stanley Black & Decker, a manufacturer of industrial tools and household hardware and provider of security products. New Jersey has a GDP of $810 billion and a per capita income of around $90,000 a year, similar to Connecticut and among the top 5 in the nation. The economy in New Jersey is diverse and robust, involving various sectors. The state is known as the global center for the pharmaceutical and biotechnology industries, hosting the headquarters of several major drug companies. New Jersey's proximity to New York City has made it a hub for financial services and insurance companies. Cities like Jersey City and Newark are home to significant operations of national and international financial institutions. New Jersey's large and affluent population supports a significant retail sector, including shopping malls, restaurants, and service-oriented businesses. Companies headquartered in New Jersey include Johnson & Johnson, a multinational corporation that manufactures medical devices, pharmaceuticals, and consumer packaged goods, Prudential Financial, a global financial services leader offering insurance, investment management, and other financial products and services, Campbell Soup Company, an American producer of canned soups and related products, and Quest Diagnostics, a leading provider of diagnostic information services that patients and doctors need to make better healthcare decisions. The geopolitics of both Connecticut and New Jersey has been historically complicated, as both states were 2 of the original 13 colonies, which has influenced both states. Connecticut voted in the very first presidential election between 1788 and 1789, in which George Washington, the only candidate, won. In the early parts of the 1800s, Connecticut voted mostly for Federalist candidates until 1820, when James Monroe, the only candidate in that election, won as a Democratic Republican. This started a trend of the state voting for that party and later similar ones, such as the National Republican and Whig parties. Then in the 1856 election, the state started to vote for the Republican Party, which evolved from the previous parties, mainly because of the party's stance against slavery. Through the latter half of the 1800s, Connecticut voted back and forth between Republicans and Democrats, and this trend continued through the first 90 years of the 1900s until the 1992 presidential election, when the state gave its electoral votes to Democrat Bill Clinton. Since that election, Connecticut has turned into a safe Democrat state. This is also associated with the U.S. Senate and Congress. The state has 2 Democratic senators, Richard Blumenthal and Chris Murphy, and all of its House members are Democrats. On the state level, Connecticut's governor is Democrat Ned Lamont, who was elected in 2018 and re-elected in 2022. The last Republican governor was M. Jody Rell, governor from 2004 to 2011. Like Connecticut, New Jersey voted in the very first presidential election in 1788 and 1789. In the early part of the 1800s, the state went back and forth between multiple political parties, including the Federalist, Whig, Democratic, and Democratic Republican. Then in 1856, unlike Connecticut, New Jersey gave its electoral votes to winning Democrat James Buchanan. In the very next election in 1860, the state did give its electoral votes to winning Republican Abraham Lincoln. However, throughout the rest of the 1800s, New Jersey voted for more Democratic candidates, including ones from the state, such as George McClellan in 1864, and Grover Cleveland, born in Colwell in 1884, 1888, and 1892. Then throughout the first 30 years of the 1900s, New Jersey voted for more Republican candidates, but voted for winner Democrat Franklin Roosevelt in 1932, 1936, 1940, and 1944. From that time until the early 1990s, the state went back and forth between Republicans and Democrats until 1992, when it gave its electoral votes to winning Democrat Bill Clinton. And just like Connecticut, since then, New Jersey has federally turned into a safe blue state. In the U.S. Senate, New Jersey has 2 Democratic senators, Cory Booker, former mayor of Newark, and Bob Menendez. In Congress, the state has 9 Democrats and 3 Republicans. And while federally there is more of a Democrat leaning, the northwestern and parts of the southern tier of the state are more Republican leaning. In terms of the state government, New Jersey's governor is Democrat Phil Murphy, who was elected in 2017 and re-elected in 2021. Historically, the state has had some prominent Republican governors, including Chris Christie, governor from 2009 to 2017, Christine Todd Whitman, governor from 1994 to 2001, and Tom Kean, governor from 1982 to 1990. Although both Connecticut and New Jersey are physically small states in size, they're certainly not small in influence. Each has their own uniqueness about them. If you had to select Connecticut or New Jersey, which one would you choose to live in? I live in New Jersey, and while I do know it is mocked a lot, there are some good qualities about it. Still, I'd love to hear your opinion, so please leave your comments in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this week's episode. Remember, if you enjoy learning about geography and earth science, be sure to subscribe to my channel, Our World, Our Planet, Our Home. Until next time!